What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. So I think the time has come, we're far enough through phase 2 of Season of Discovery to start talking about those data mined runes for each class coming in phase 3. Well, as far as the ones that we know so far, right? These are not all of the runes that every class is going to be getting. Blizzard made this very clear, but we do have some data mined runes for each class going into phase 3. So I'm going to go over each class in a specific video for you guys, and we're going to talk about them. Drop some comments down below. Let me know what you think about the runes. I'll let you know what I think about the runes, and then we can get into some good discussion. So without further ado, guys, let's dive in. So to start off, let's talk about the Warrior. Now, so far for the Warrior, we have 3 Bracer runes and 3 Helm runes that have been data mined and are now on Wowhead. Starting off with the first one, we have Engraved Bracer's Rampage. Warrior goes on a rampage, increasing attack power by 2% and causing most successful melee attacks to increase attack power by an additional 2%. This effect will stack up to 5 times and last 30 seconds. This ability can only be used after scoring a critical hit. So it seems like with the addition of Rampage, we're seeing some more raw damage increases. For our second Bracer rune, we have Sword and Board. When your Devastate and Revenge abilities deal damage, they have a 30% chance of refreshing the cooldown of your Shield Slam ability and reducing its rage cost by 100% for 5 seconds. Now that's an interesting one, right? Because if you are running Devastate, you're basically spamming Devastate, which is pretty much going to be proccing you instant Shield Slams. Now this is going to make for some interesting gameplay, kind of hinting towards a Gladiator stance sort of play style, which is pretty cool. And then our third Bracer rune, we have Wrecking Crew. Your melee critical hits enrage you, increasing all physical damage caused by 10% for 12 seconds. This effect does not stack with Enrage. So another damage increase rune here for Warriors. I do feel like after seeing these that there needs to be something added for Warriors to kind of change how the class plays a little bit, right? I think all we're seeing really is tons of just damage increases and enrages for Warriors, but I think that there can be a little bit more creativity here and add some things that change up the Warrior playstyle, right? We already know Warriors are going to be really strong, especially at endgame, but they do still play like a vanilla Warrior, right? Like we need to get maybe Blade Storm. I'm not going to say Titan's Grip. This is a controversial one. I think Titan's Grip really doesn't have a place in vanilla WoW. In my opinion, but I mean, obviously if it dropped, I would use it. I am a Warrior main, of course. It would be pretty awesome, but like Blade Storm, maybe Heroic Leap to give us some more mobility and make PvP a little bit more fun and more engaging. You know, kind of maining Warrior this whole time, I'm running around and watching all these other classes get such cool abilities, such class-changing abilities, changing the way that they play that class in Season of Discovery, and Warrior pretty much is playing exactly the same. And I'd argue that I really don't enjoy the Consumed by Rage gameplay if you are playing Fury. Having to just basically auto and maintain that like balance between being above 80 rage and a little bit below, it kind of feels stale after a while. So I'm enjoying Warrior. I will always love Warrior, but I do think we can get a little bit more creative with the Warrior rune set. So let's move on to the Helm runes. We have Shield Mastery. Increases all physical damage you deal by 10% while you have a shield equipped, and reduces the duration of all disarm effects used against you by 50%. This does not stack with other disarm duration reducing effects. So if you're combining Shield Mastery on your Helm with Sword and Board on your Bracers and Devastate, you can make for some pretty cool gameplay, even in PvP. We could start seeing some one-hander and shield, Warrior PvP builds that would be pretty strong and pretty tanky. I know myself, that's how I would try it, especially for solo PvP, you know, in a 1v1 situation, maybe in a dueling tournament. That could be pretty strong, so that's interesting to see. I really am happy with the Sword and Board and Shield Mastery runes. And then for our next Helm rune, we have Vigilance. Focus your protective gaze on a party or raid member, reducing their damage taken by 3% and transferring 10% of the threat they cause to you. In addition, each time they are hit by an attack, your taunt cooldown is refreshed. Last 30 minutes, this effect can only be on one target at a time, so a nice tanking rune right there. And then we have Taste for Blood. Whenever your Rend ability causes damage, your Overpower ability will activate for 9 seconds or 1 attack. This effect will not occur more than once every 6 seconds. Now, this is a really interesting rune, which could definitely change up the playstyle quite a bit, right? We know that Rend is super low damage. Nobody's using Rend in their rotation, but when you add a rune like this that will be activating Overpower for 9 seconds every single time your Rend ticks and does damage, that could make for some interesting gameplay and some different playstyles. So I'm kind of excited to try out that one as well. And then obviously you'd probably be running Taste for Blood mixed with Wrecking Crew. Or Rampage. We would have to see which one ends up being better. Most likely Wrecking Crew for two-handed arms and Rampage for Fury, of course. But anyways, we're going to have to wait and see. But like I said before, guys, I'm not sure if these are all the runes we're getting for Warrior in Phase 3, but this is what has been data mined so far. So keep in mind that this could change, and if it does, I will upload a new video for you guys when we get more information. But if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and jump over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/hammerdance if you want to hang out with me live. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one.